Capto Video Analysis was developed to help coaches and players evaluate the positional and angular relationships between biomechanical segments during the putting motion. The stroke is treated as a continuous time sequence, not as a set of isolated positions. Each frame contains measurable information about body alignment, segment orientation, and movement timing. The objective is to support technical improvement through visual, numerical, and graphical feedback. To analyze every instant of the putt, Capto keeps the drawn entities connected to the athlete's inferred body structure during the full motion. A body inference process automatically extracts nodes, joints, and bones for every frame. Entities can be associated with specific biomechanical nodes or body segments. Positions, orientations, and angular relationships can then be tracked through time. The resulting data can be represented by synchronized overlays and charts. The camera should be positioned vertically, preferably on a tripod or stable stand, so that the complete player, putter, and ball remain visible throughout the stroke. Use landscape orientation. Place the camera in front of the player and centered on the body. Keep the device stable during the entire recording. Frame the full body, the putter, and the ball. iPhone and iPad are the recommended recording devices. Accurate measurements require a consistent and readable image. Recording quality directly affects body inference, entity tracking, and chart reliability. No other people visible in the scene to avoid interferences with players' body detection. Prefer uniform lighting and avoid strong backlighting. Use a clean background with good contrast against the player. Avoid handheld recordings and digital zoom. Make sure the golfer never leaves the frame. Check that the ball is visible before starting the capture. The line entity is the simplest biomechanical measurement element. It can be drawn directly on the video and later associated with a body segment. Select the line tool from the drawing toolbar. Place the two endpoints on the image. Open the entity options to access advanced properties. Once associated with a bone, the line follows the selected body segment during the motion. The Options button opens the context menu for the selected entity. Basic properties such as thickness, color, and label are available, but the most relevant biomechanical property is bones. Bones assigns a meaningful biomechanical name to the selected entity. The association is designed to be immediate and intuitive. A line can be linked to a named segment such as shoulders, right arm, or other inferred body parts. This turns a graphical entity into a measurable biomechanical object. Selecting shoulders from the bones menu automatically places the line on the shoulder segment. The line becomes associated with the shoulder axis. Its position and orientation are updated as the body model evolves frame by frame. Draw charts allows the user to visualize the line angle relative to either the horizontal or vertical axis. This makes shoulder orientation measurable during the stroke. The generated chart expresses the horizontal angle of the shoulder line frame by frame. The x-axis represents time or frame progression. The y-axis represents the measured angular value. This allows the coach to evaluate shoulder rotation and stability during the putting motion. The graph remains synchronized with the video timeline. The box entity allows the user to define a 4-vertex region and extract useful motion information from it. The box can be placed around a biomechanical area of interest. Each vertex can later be linked to a body node using OSNAP. The resulting entity can provide positional and displacement information. This is useful when analyzing the collective motion of multiple connected body parts. Node anchoring is active when the OSNAP option is enabled in the entity properties. This allows entity vertices to snap to inferred biomechanical body nodes. Activate the body icon on the right side of the interface to display the skeleton. The icon becomes green when skeleton visualization is active. Drag an entity vertex close to a skeleton node to associate it with that body point. A zoom window appears on the left side, allowing precise placement under the finger. The same operation can be repeated for all 4 vertices of the box, selecting for example elbows and wrists as shown in the interface. Each vertex can be linked to a different skeleton node. Linked vertices become part of a dynamic biomechanical measurement entity. The box follows the selected body nodes through the complete putt sequence. This enables analysis of group segment displacement and orientation. For a box entity, the chart can display the centroid along the x-axis or y-axis. The centroid is the barycenter of the selected entity vertices. Centroid X measures how the selected group moves horizontally. Centroid Y measures how the selected group moves vertically. In the forearm example, the chart shows how the combined forearm region moves through the stroke. Length values are scaled using the player height stored in the player properties. If no height is entered, the default height is assumed to be 1.70 meters. Relative angle is one of the most important analysis tools in Capto. It measures the angular relationship between 2 entities during the swing. The tool is selected from the drawing toolbar below the circle tool. The user clicks 4 consecutive points, 2 points for the first segment and 2 points for the second segment. The entity defines 2 connected measurable segments. It can be used to analyze how one body segment rotates relative to another. One of the 2 segments displays a white circle in the middle. This indicates the active segment for named assignment through the Bones menu. Open the context menu for the selected relative angle entity. Choose the appropriate bone name for the active segment. For example, selecting right arm makes the first segment align with the right upper arm. The white circle helps the user understand which segment is currently being assigned. After assigning the first segment, the remaining free segment can be selected and associated with another body segment, for example the right forearm. Click the remaining segment to make it active. Assign the corresponding bone name from the context menu. The 2 segments now follow the selected biomechanical bones. Capto automatically displays the angle between the 2 selected segments. The chart can display the included angle throughout the stroke, making it possible to analyze how the forearm rotates relative to the upper arm over time. The graph reports the relative angular value frame by frame. In the example, the chart starts around 28 degrees while the screen label shows about 152 degrees. These values are complementary. 28 degrees plus 152 degrees equals 180 degrees. The chart reports the relative rotation. The on-screen label reports the complementary absolute angle convention. Together they describe the same geometric relationship between the 2 segments. At any moment, the user can move through the putt using the timeline cursor located at the bottom of the screen. Dragging the cursor scrolls through time and frames. Entity positions update automatically according to the current frame. Angles, centroids and measurements are recalculated in real time. This makes it possible to inspect every instant of the putting motion precisely. Red vertices indicate that the entity points are linked to skeleton nodes. Playback can also be used at different speeds to inspect the motion dynamically. Red vertices confirm active linkage to inferred biomechanical nodes. The linked entities follow the body model throughout the video. The video can be played directly inside the analysis environment. Different playback speeds support both real-time observation and slow-motion inspection. This creates a synchronized workflow between video, measurements, and charts. Capto turns video analysis into a continuous biomechanical measurement workflow. The coach or player can evaluate movement relationships at every frame of the putt. Entities become biomechanical objects when anchored to inferred body nodes and bones. Charts reveal how positions, centroids and relative angles evolve through time. The workflow combines visual inspection, numerical measurement and synchronized playback. Enjoy Capto.